Today I'm in beautiful downtown Philadelphia. This is a great location for our topics today. We're going to be talking about orchestration, building a private cloud, and what that means to your organization. We'll go up and sit on these steps up here to have that discussion. Today we're going to be talking about just one of the use cases for software-defined networking. This is the less common of the use cases for SDN, but I think it's the most important one. So the two use cases, microsegmentation and then automation, building a private cloud, it's a piece of that. So let's talk for a minute about what one of the drivers really is. So just an example, if I worked for the HR department and I wanted to spin up a server, I would go to my IT department, they'd ask me 20 questions. Eventually what they would do is they would have me fill out a trouble ticket. They would hand that off to the server team who spins up a server. Then they'd hand it to the storage team who gets the storage provisioned. And then finally to the network team. And the network team's gonna create a separate VLAN for me for my little test network that I needed. Well, that's all great, but that probably is gonna take 6 weeks. I don't know about you all. I don't have that kind of patience at all. But what I do have is the ability to go to Google or Amazon with a credit card and spin things up in about 10 minutes. I specify I want a server with so much disk space, so much memory, and I get it. And when I signed up, I checked that box that said auto renew. Then my boss gets the expense report. And he says, Rita, why did you use Google or Amazon? And I say, well, you know, I really wanted a server and I wanted it right now. So he's like, fine, but we have our own IT resources. Please don't do that again. 6 months later, he gets another bill that he sees in the expense report. He says, are you still using that? And I said, no, I used it for about a couple hours and didn't really like the software, so that was it. And he goes, well, we've been paying for it for 6 months now. And we just renewed it for another 6 months. Why, oh why, did we do that? It wasn't about money, that's for sure. The reason I went to the cloud, a public cloud, is because it was fast. Fast and easy. We have this problem going on in every company throughout the US. It's called shadow IT. Individual users and business units are going out to public clouds and getting the IT resources they want, going around circumventing IT. This is taking money out of IT hands. This is also taking the security that we have with our own IT department. That was an HR server. I may have put company confidential information out into a public cloud without even really thinking twice about it. So we need to offer a way for our own internal customers to be able to have those public cloud-like resources and do it within their own data centers and do it at a fraction of the cost. And we can do that. What that is a private cloud strategy, self-service IT strategy. So let's talk for a minute about our starting points. We've been virtualizing servers for years now. Most companies, 90% of their servers are virtualized. We've also been virtualizing storage. 4 years ago, we started to virtualize the network. When we virtualize servers, we virtualize storage, we virtualize network, we still have 3 pillars, but we're doing things in a much quicker, more automated fashion. We're virtualizing the network through the use of SDN. 2 very common SDN products, Cisco ACI and VMware NSX. When we've done that, we have a software-defined data center. A software-defined data center, it's great, but we still have 3 pillars. We're not quite to a private cloud. The very next thing we layer on is we layer on orchestration. Now, I always demo this by doing this kind of motion, right? So that kind of motion is what a conductor of an orchestra does. A conductor of an orchestra doesn't say winds you play, followed by strings you play next, and then percussion. What a conductor of an orchestra does is says everybody plays together. And that's exactly what orchestration software does. via use of a self-service portal, we're able to go in and specify, I want a server with this much disk space, this much memory. Oh, and by the way, I'm part of the accounting team. And then it's going to go behind the scenes and it's going to talk to server, network, and storage and spin things up in a matter of minutes. That's what's giving us the exact same type of look and feel that we get by going to a public cloud. And if you recall, the number one reason for going there was for that speed and that ease of use. Really nice thing too is the CFO. We can then report back to him that operations use 10% of data center resources and accounting use 5% of data center resources. Very nice stuff. A piece that I really enjoy seeing in there is also the analytics. Analytics, if you think about the data center, the only thing that has visibility into everything in the data center, all the traffic in the data center is going to be the network. So by using analytics on the network, we're able to see outliers. We're able to get clues about advanced persistent threats, and that's awesome to have. Lots of big players out there. Cisco Tetration is one I particularly like. VMware has Verni, and there's all kinds of new network analytics companies that are out there today. Now really, it's all about the application. And your user could care less where the application is coming from. So the application could exist in the public cloud, the application could exist in the private cloud or an on-prem data center. A real key is making sure that application is available 100% of the time for our end users, regardless of where they're coming from and regardless of where the applications exist. So, public cloud? Yes, public cloud is great. So, lots of different players in the public cloud space. Some applications belong in the public cloud. Absolutely agree. We need a way to get things from public cloud into private cloud, from private cloud into public cloud, and even between clouds. This is called multi-cloud or hybrid cloud. And again, the utopia that we build is that we can develop apps in any location, wherever it is, public cloud, private cloud. We can run apps in any location. But I think what you're going to find is one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to outsource your entire data center out to a public cloud. The reason is that subscription tends to get higher and higher because data doesn't shrink, data grows. So I'd love to talk to you more, and we'll be talking about other use cases, including microsegmentation, which, by the way, that's the most popular use case for SDN today. Good chatting from Philadelphia. We'll also be chatting from Nashville, Tennessee this week.